Testing. Can you guys hear me? Yes. The volume on this new mic is low. Yeah, sorry for the delay, guys. I'm getting these guys in here now. I feel like I'm talking really quiet. Hold on. Testing. Is that too loud? No, that looks about right. All right. I'm getting them in there now. Sorry about the bro, I just had I feel like the Optimum Mobile customer service rep I just spoke to is going to need therapy for what Optimum Mobile's been charging me. I don't have Optimum Mobile, and I wasn't mad. I literally just called to cancel my account, but instead of canceling it, they kept trying to sell me a package, and like on the fourth time, I was like, if I don't get this I was going off. All right, so that's what helped me up. I was on the phone with Optimum Mobile. Prop beaver toast. There you go. And let's get Commish the link too. All right, so they all should be coming in here now. Yeah, yesterday, dude, MLB's been good to me. I'm up 3.5 units on the season in MLB. Unfortunately, the NBA I can't seem to figure out. Even I had a couple winning days, and I was like, all right, I'm back. NBA's good. Went 1-3 last night in the NBA. NBA's been tough on me, man. All right, here are the squads. So let's get Prop Beaver in here. Prop Beaver camera. Got Toast here. Good morning, Toast.
What are we working on? Ski time today?
Nah, dude, I was just telling him I had a violent conversation with Optimum Mobile customer service this morning.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. No, not them again.
It was like top 3 of all time.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's right. You were here for the last time I talked to them.
Yeah, and if you understood the animosity between Kyle and these people on the phone, the customer service representatives, the top 3 is really up there. Like it's
dude, it was a bad one. It was a bad one, and I tried to keep my cool too. I was like being nice for the beginning of it, but you crossed that line, and then like once I burst through the threshold of hatred.
You're a big yak guy.
Coming back.
All right, guys. So we got 10. For those of you that are new to the channel, those of us that were with us last year know the deal. But we're gonna go through the 10-day games here. Kamish, good morning, by the way. What's up, man? We're gonna go through the 10-day games. Yeah. No, actually, 11:30 works though because the games don't start till 1, so we can make 11:30. So we're going to go through the 10-day games. Then we'll be back. Well, me, Toast, and Prop Beaver will be back. Commission will be coaching. But we'll be back at 4 p.m. to do the 5 night games later. So that's what we're doing. So we got Royals plus 130. Orioles minus 170. And pass. All right. Toast, do you have a look in this one?
Yeah, I played the first 5 under 4. Hold on, I can't find my notes right now. But yeah, I played the first 5 under 4 in this one. I expect using, I don't want to use too much of it because some of it's I stole from Beaver, but the Orioles against lefties at home and during the day is really bad. I'm sure he'll touch on that. And I trust Cole Reagans. He's one of these guys that I would consider a quote unquote bet on type of pitcher. Not sure if I want to back him by himself with the KC bats behind him, but I do think both pitchers pitched pretty well today in absolutely horrible weather. So I went first 5 under 4.
I'm passing here, so say whatever you have to say.
Are you you're down to trust Prop Beaver's day-night splits?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right.
Work.
So you passed Prop Beaver? I'll bring up.
Yeah, I just like I'm fine taking a first 5 under at 4 if I really love it, but I don't know. We don't have that much data yet. We'd have to drink a little bit of juice on it. At least today, last night you could have gotten a good price on it. I know these two guys did, but currently right now I believe it's like minus 120. So I just didn't really love either side here. So I just ultimately passed. On top of that, I believe this one could be delayed or postponed. So
yeah. Bad weather.
Mm-hmm.
Kamish, anything you like in this one?
Yeah, Toast actually turned me on to it. And we used Beaver's notes last night in the DMs. I only put a half unit on because I don't trust Cole Reagans or Corbin Burns.
You're on that same first 5 under?
Yeah, first 5 under 4. I grabbed it for a half unit at minus 115 last night. It looks like you have to grab an alt line now. Everything's 3.5 everywhere.
Wow, it's at
but
3.5?
Yeah, 3.5. You could get you can still get the under 4 at minus 130 at BetMGM. Looks like the best price on that. To me, so Corbin Burns, Cole Reagans, they both pounded the strike zone on opening day. I don't know if I literally just woke up 5 minutes ago, so I don't know if the lineups are out yet. But I know that I know that on Sunday the Orioles threw out Cedric Mullins, James McCann, and Jorge Mateo in that 7-8-9 hole, which to me, like, even if you don't trust Cole Reagans, I mean, those 3 guys in the bottom half Baltimore doesn't have their lineup out yet, but those 3 guys in the 7-8-9 hole, that's pretty weak in my opinion. The guys already mentioned the weather. Already hard to hit a baseball out at Camden Yards to left field. If that wind's knocking down fly balls to right field, it's going to be really hard to hit the ball out of the ballpark today. So for me, under 4 half unit, like, it's just worth a stab. Early game.
Bottom 3 in that Baltimore lineup: Mateo, McCann, Urias today.
That's released. It's out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a really bad 7-8-9. And then if you look at the Royals, they got Adam Frazier in the 7 hole, Kyle Isbell in the 9 hole. It's
Velasquez, Nelson, Velasquez, and then 8.
Goat hard hitter.
Yeah,
Velasquez.
94% rain. I don't know what it means on RotoWire when they have the game red. Does that mean it's probably going to be postponed?
That means it's in threat of being delayed or postponed.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, let's move on to the next game. Because this game might not even happen. So let's move on to the next game. Rangers, Rays. Rays came through for us last night. I had Tampa minus 135. Not one of my top bets, but I bet 0.75 on it, which at this point in the season is a solid bet. Rays minus 120, over 8, under 8. What do you think about the matchup for Kamish? What do you think about the matchup for Nathan Eovaldi on the road in the Trop here?
Eovaldi looked healthy his first start. The thing I always look for with Eovaldi is the velo there, because when the velo is there, he's an ace. When the velo's not there, hard for him to get through 5 innings. So the velo was there on opening day. I know with Toast and I were talking about some of the expected stats last night. If you go to Fangraphs after one start, I think you're more likely to get confused or distracted than anything else. I think you really have to look at some of the different metrics like velocity and things like that. Once you get 4 or 5 starts under your belt, you can start looking at some of the season-long numbers. But I like it. You look at this lineup. I mean, Jose Siri doesn't scare me in the 9. Really, the 7-8-9 hole doesn't scare me. Harold Ramirez not going to scare me against righties in the 6 hole. Palacios in the 5. But this is not a very good Tampa lineup against right-handed pitching right now, in my opinion. I really like Savale the first time through the order in his career. He's always been at his best the first time through the order. To me, this is either a first 3 spot under or.
I knew you were going to say first 3. I swear to God, when you started talking, I was like, I think he's doing
first 3 under 2.5. Yep.
I knew you were going to say that. So Kamish likes the first 3 under 2.5. And if you are new to, if you just met Kamish or just started watching him, he's big on the first 3s because it isolates the starting pitcher's numbers the first time through the order. And a lot of times, more often than not, you'll see a drop off. Some pitchers, once the batters have seen them for an at bat, they have much better numbers. So you're on the first 3 under 2.5. I mean, Toast, I don't know where you're looking here, but just glancing at this, I don't know if you are a big Savali guy, but how do you not take the Rangers at plus 100 with Eovaldi on the mound?
Because I don't know anybody in the world that has a Rays ticket in their hand.
Really? The whole world's bet in Texas?
So,
I don't think that should scare me off, though. I mean, I'm considering Texas.
Go ahead.
I'm not. I want to hear what you have to say first.
It's a pass for me. I think that I like both pitchers. I would lean first 5 under maybe, but it's at 4 plus 100, so that kind of just scares me off.
You guys like Savali like that, really?
So, I mean, yeah.
Nice, bro.
I like them in Cleveland a little bit, but
you should like him
better in
Tampa
Bay. I think, I like him even better in Tampa Bay. Yeah.
So
I have no problem. I guess I lean, if I had a gun to my head, I guess if I had to make a play in this game, I'd lean under 8. because I know that some of the guys from Tampa Bay's bullpen went yesterday, but they all should be still good to go as far as going today. Let me double check that. Yeah. So I would lean under. I didn't play a side or total this game though.
All right.
So this is why I would go under 2.5. So like this is what I think is interesting, Toast, is so you get under 4 in the first 5, which means essentially you need 1 scoreless inning at minimum, or under 8 full game, which is the same deal. You need 1 scoreless inning at a minimum. Early start time in the Trop, very pitcher friendly venue. You get the under 2.5 first 3. You have Savale coming out throwing a bunch of new breaking balls. These guys don't have a lot of tape on him to start the season. Last year was more the same with Savale. First time through the order, 285, 29.5 K percentage, 204 opponent batting average. Second time through, 423 FIP. K percentage drops about 10%. Opponent batting average goes up 80 points. So you get 2.5, under 2.5, minus 110 in the first 3. For me, I'm like,
so you're
like
saying
that's why I look.
I've never even bet a
wait. So
first
you're
3 in
saying
my
if
life.
the Rays get on the board against Eovaldi early, live bet Texas because they're going to get to Savali the second time.
So I wouldn't do that just because Savali's new stuff is so much better. But when a player has significant time through the order splits for 2, 3, 4 years, he's not going to get worse the second time through. You know what I mean? Like his stuff didn't get worse. But if the stuff isn't as good as maybe I think it is in 2024, you have that insurance in the first 3 innings that you might not have 4, 5, 6. If that makes sense.
Got it.
I couldn't give out a first 3 because I get people asking me what first 5 is, and that's like a standard bet. So if I'm putting first 3s, like it would be just an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, there's a lot of books that don't even offer the first 3, but I mean, it makes a lot of logical sense.
Yeah, I've just personally have never bet a first 3, which is, I know that's crazy, but I've never done it. So I don't even know, like, I can't even act like I know what's a good bet and what's not.
Yeah.
I actually don't know anyone that's bet a first 3. I've been yelling at people for 3 years.
I tailed you on a couple of them last year, man.
Have you?
Yeah, I tailed you on a couple of those first 3s.
Okay.
Prop Beaver, I'm down to bet Texas. Are you with me?
I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of was, and then I was looking at the earned run line for Eovaldi, and it was at 2.5. And I think that if they were a bit more confident that he was going to have a good outing here, it would have been at 1.5. So
I mean,
I don't know.
He's on the road in Tampa.
I was going to say it could be they're still
Pittsburgh.
valuing the. It could be that they're still valuing the numbers from last year still in their model and their data and stuff. So yeah, technically Tampa is a great lineup. It would make sense at 2.5. I went with Eovaldi over strikeouts here. I posted this 2 hours ago. I got it plus 116. Unfortunately, that moved super quick. It's now at minus 125, up at minus 146 on FanDuel. I would play this to minus 130. So if you get a minus 130 or better, come along for the ride.
You got this at plus 116?
Yeah, I just feel like the books are showing the Rays way too much respect against righties still, and we were getting a nice buy low spot with Eovaldi coming off a 3K performance against Chicago. Eovaldi's done very well against his Rays team historically, 7-2 with a 2.86 ERA their last 12 matchups, all since 2020, and Eovaldi's hit 6+ Ks in 9 of those, averaging 6.3. He's definitely gotten into a lot more trouble at Tampa limiting runs, but at the same time, he's had zero issue getting the Ks in that spot. Last 6 starts at Tampa, he's 3-2 with a 5.01 ERA, but he hit 6 Ks in all 5 games where he was fully healthy. He left one of those in 3 innings due to an injury. The current lineup has just a 454 OPS against them, 265 OBA, and he has a 20+ K to BB percentage against them, so he's shown great command against them. Over his last 3 seasons, Eovaldi's best K spot has been day games against righties, where he's got a 27% K percentage. I think they have 7 righties today because they are starting Vordet instead of Pinto. So they're going to have 7 righties today, so that's good for us. And the Rays have allowed all 4 righties they faced thus far to hit both 6+ Ks and their individual K over, including Dane Stunning. Something interesting I found, if you look at the Rays on the season, they're just middle of the pack in terms of K percentage against righties. But if you isolate that through the first 5, the Rays own the 4th highest K percentage in the MLB against righties, 28.9%.
That's dating back to last year?
No, that's just this year. I'm just trying to look at what they're doing this year right now, what rate they're striking out at. Our friends at Ballpark Pal projecting to allow 3 runs today, but to snag 6.2 Ks in the process. So yeah, at the plus money, it was a smash play, but even at minus 125, minus 130, I would still go ahead and lock that in.
I think I'm
Lance Garrett's a pretty K-friendly umpire too.
Prop beavers.
Yes, Kamish. I was looking at that. I found a different site that's not K-Boost. It just basically tells you whether they're pitcher friendly or not. And Lance Bear was one of the more pitcher friendly umps.
Yeah, so I wrote down Rangers money line. I didn't bet it yet, but that's going to be one I consider. I mean, Prop Beaver's offseason notes were telling us that he thinks the Rays lineup is going to be down against right-handed pitching this year. You got Eovaldi at plus money. I mean, I know everyone's probably taking Texas here, but I don't care. I think it's the side. So I think I might bet the Rangers. Let's move on to the next one. Yeah, but
one thing I'd watch out for, Kyle, is that Eovaldi's K splits against righties are much better. His actual splits against righties are not much better. So the WOBA and all that other stuff, much higher.
Okay. All right. I see what you're saying. All right. So, Angels, Marlins. Angels came through for us last night, Toast.
Hell yeah, they did. They're going to do it again today, too.
Right? How do we not stop? How do we not keep fading the Marlins?
I don't care. It took me about all of 3 seconds to play this bet last night as soon as this thing, like if you're going to give me Patrick Sandoval off a shitty start against a really good Baltimore team, and now he gets to face a bad Miami team, not to mention we get to fade AJ Puck, who's absolutely fucking terrible. Sign me up, please.
Yeah, I don't. Look, people in the chat, Marlins money line.
Same with yesterday.
Why is everyone betting the Marlins? Why is everyone betting the Marlins?
They're fucking terrible. They can't. They're absolutely terrible.
People, and not only betting them, people are laying juice with the Marlins.
Oh, I know. Some people were laying 1.5 runs yesterday with this team.
I know. Oh, I saw that too. People in the chat were like Marlins minus 1.5. Or worst team in baseball. So, I put Marlins up for you. My bad.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Well, that's his true pick.
Yeah, I am going to bet this one. I'm going to write it down. I'm not going to hold the show up by placing any bets right now. But it might be a smaller bet because eventually the Marlins do have to win.
Yeah, it's only a half unit for me. But if you're going to continue to give me this at even money, essentially, I'm going to take it.
As a dog, actually. I mean, I think you can get an even better price than this right now.
Maybe I got 105 last night, but yeah.
You can get
plus money
right now.
Yeah.
On the Marlins.
Because a lot of people are on. I saw a couple accounts I actually respect post the Marlins today.
Yeah.
I feel better. Only one book.
Well, that's what I mean. The people in the comments, some of the people who are on the Marlins aren't just like scrubs. It's people who are usually posting sharp plays in there. So I'm not saying idiots are on the Marlins. There's people betting the Marlins, people that do this. I will say
part of me too wants to get my money back because I didn't fade AJ Puck the first time out, and I'm so pissed off that I didn't. I really want him again here today. I want my money back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at the point where I'm going to continue fading the Marlins every game until they win 2 in a row, right? Why wouldn't we? Until the Marlins win 2 in a row.
Fading them all season long.
Well, if they win 2 in a row.
I feel like once they leave Miami here, this might be a good spot. Once they just leave, the bats may wake up a little bit.
I think they're going to lose 100 games.
I mean, it's like an automatic win on your ticket every night. Just fade the Marlins.
I'm telling you, they're going to lose 100 games.
Yeah, I have to go with the Angels in this one as well. I'm not really going to try and guess what AJ Puck's going to be here. The spring results were great. His results as a reliever the last 2 seasons have been great. But some people don't survive the transition to a starter. And the MLB debut was about as brutal as it gets. And I'm very high on this Angels lineup against lefties this season. 7 of 9 members have 118 WRC plus against lefties the last 3 seasons. 5 of 9 members have a 210 ISO against lefties the last 3 seasons. And 5 of 9 members have a 10 plus walk percentage against lefties the last 3 seasons. That's a well-balanced combo right there. They could draw walks. They could get on base and create runs. I mean, while the Marlins have guys who are very capable against lefties on their team, they've really struggled against them thus far. Just a 64 WRC plus, 598 OPS, and Tyler Anderson, a guy who I think is mediocre at best, just went into Miami and looked like a Cy Young pitcher yesterday. I don't know what that was about. So yeah, Sandoval did look horrible in his season opener, but I think this is probably a really nice bounce back spot for him, and he's owned this Miami lineup. 51 at bats, 553 OPS, 216 OBA, and until this team stops finding ways to lose, I feel like there's zero reason to back them. I learned this valuable lesson in a Bahamas casino. Sometimes red is going to go on a 15-turn run in roulette. You can either ride the wave or you can keep banking on it to the end. I'm going to keep riding the red here. It's going to keep going red.
You learned that in a Bahamas casino.
Yeah, I kept betting the black and I lost all my money.
Can I also say really quickly, not only is Miami not playing well. It's like mental mistakes too. Like yesterday in the second inning, they had 2 on, no out. They had both second and third stolen. Garcia takes the first pitch, 0-0 count. He flies up. Jazz Chisholm doesn't touch third base. It's a double play. It kills the inning. They're just not even making smart baseball plays in general. So it's just really hard to bet a team that can't even do the little things.
They could use a leader like Miguel Rojas in that clubhouse.
I know,
really
right?
round things up. Yeah.
Someone said Pirates are winning the NL Central. Honestly, I would love to be holding that ticket.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're four games in. Let's send it over to Kamish.
They did the same thing last year.
Kamish, you're not going to tell us to bet the fish, are you?
No. My pitcher notes that I do every day, I was just referencing what I said about AJ Puck after his first start, and I said verbatim, AJ Puck isn't going to last long in the rotation. So I don't like AJ Puck. I can't get behind Patrick Sandoval because Patrick Sandoval is one of the worst pitchers in baseball. But
come on, dude.
He ain't worse than AJ
Your
Puck.
notes are wrong. Sandoval's a gamer.
They're both really bad. I just don't bet on bad pitchers. But
some
but
people
for me,
just know how to get it done. Sandoval, Corbin, these are my guys.
Sauce, we're gonna have some friction this year, man. If we're betting on Patrick Corbin and Patrick Sandoval, but
friction.
but this lineup, like if we're being honest, this Angels lineup against left-handed pitching is really not that bad. Aaron Hicks had a home run last night. We know what Mike Trout can do. Taylor Ward against lefties is pretty good. Logan O'Hoppe is going to mash left-handed pitching. There's some pretty good bats against lefties in here. We saw him have really good at-bats last night against a much better lefty in Luzardo. I don't know how you don't get on the Angels in some capacity here, whether it's in a parlay or, a straight on the money line, the team total. I don't know how you can trust AJ Puck. And I know you mentioned the Marlins are in theory good against left-handed pitching, but I mean, Jake Berger, Josh Bell, and that's about it, is in my opinion. I don't really respect anybody else in this lineup today.
Yeah, I think De La Cruz is all right, but I think. But
mediocre. Like, he's not a liability, but he's not someone where
right.
I'm
like,
oh,
no,
man,
I get it.
De La Cruz.
All right, let's move on to the next game. Looks like we're all either on the Angels or saying it would only be the Angels.
It just blows my mind, those pie charts. Just blows my mind.
Yeah, people are betting the Marlins, man. It's crazy. Good for them. All right, so we got Twins Brewers. I wish I bet the Brewers yesterday, man. We said on the thing I liked the Brewers. We liked on the nightcap we did. I liked the matchup for Junis, and I didn't bet them personally because they started early and I kind of just wasn't situated yet. But we got
out of some jams, that's for sure.
So in this one, I forgot to put the starting pitchers in this graphic. Who's pitching for this one?
Joe Ross and Chris Paddock.
Joe Ross and Chris Paddock. All right. Doesn't Prop Beaver or Kamish? Someone likes Chris Paddock. Toast likes him. All right. Let's bring up.
I like Chris Paddock a lot too.
All right, Toast. Are you backing Chris Paddock here?
No. It's a pass for me. I just can't bet the Twins during the day. I bet them yesterday with all the money in the bets on the Brewers, and I thought it was a good spot, and they look like dog shit. So I'm going to pass. I lean Twins first 5. I just think that they have a pitching advantage with Paddock, but I didn't bet this game, so I'm not going to spend much time on it.
All right. Kamish?
I can't bet this game. We haven't seen Joe Ross pitch in the majors since 2021. There's just a lot of volatility here. The Twins, I really like Chris Paddock, but the offense is highly unreliable to me, especially in day games. I mean, we just saw on Sunday this team will punt. If they go down early, we might see Correa leave. We might see Buxton leave. It's just a tough team for me to trust if they're not starting at 7 p.m. or later.
Got it.
It'd be Twins first 5 for me or pass, by the way.
Prop Beaver, I mean, how do we not bet the Brewers here? They're undefeated.
I'm not betting either of these teams. I mean, both these pitchers are making their first start off Tommy John. I didn't even look at this game.
Oh, wow. They're both making their first start off Tommy John victory? Oh,
yeah.
my God.
I mean, that's not even worth even wasting my breath.
No, I get that. That's unpredictability at the max level.
I
exactly.
looked at this game for 30 minutes last night. Seriously, I messaged the group. I was like, do we look at the Brewers or the Twins? Maybe the under. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to do this. I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it up because just for the simple fact that they're 4-0, I would lean Brewers just because why try to get cute with it? One team keeps winning, the other team isn't scoring runs. But
the Twins have no power since Royce Lewis hit that opening day homer. I don't think they've hit a home run since then.
What an embarrassing organization.
Seriously.
They do have Christian Vasquez out of the lineup today, so they do have one more semi-respectable bat in there at least.
Yeah, but then
I agree.
doesn't that give Milwaukee a chance to run all over him with Jefferson?
That's fair too. That's really fair too.
So
Ryan Jeffers isn't throwing anybody out of second base. I'll tell you that.
So yeah, now you got all those.
So what about a Chiriot stolen base prop?
Yeah, out of the leadoff spot, I could for sure see that.
Dude, he's been hot too. Good for him.
Dude, he looks excellent. When I was at the game the other day, I was like, this kid's good as hell.
How do stolen base props work? Is it like over a half or like 1+?
Yeah, usually over a half. Yeah.
I'll check what his price is while we talk about this game.
All right, Toast. The next game I have up is Braves White Sox.
Braves are pass.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude, I like flexing, but I can't put my money on it.
So do I. And it's not flexing. I don't think it's flexing. It's got to be somebody else because flexing just pitched.
It's going to be Nick Nastrini in his first career start.
When Andy
and then Tanner Banks is going to open.
It's Leon.
Tanner Banks is going to open, it looks like.
I haven't seen Leon's going to open, the guy from the Mets.
Okay. Well, Roto has Tanner Banks.
Either way, you got an elite arm out there opening this game with an even better arm coming to follow.
Yo, the Braves -1.5 is -185.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. So
this is a pass.
Is there any way you can get like a Braves double result, or is just like no way?
I think even the Braves double result will be like -145.
That's not bad though.
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's probably free. You're right. With these two teams,
you are right.
Pitchers, at 145 in
Hold on,
baseball
what is the
terms,
Braves
it's probably not bad.
What is the Braves?
I'm going on DraftKings right now. I'll check.
Braves double result. If you can get that -145, I'd bet that. They should. I mean,
I will too.
Coming off,
you know why?
Yeah, I would bet that. Hold on.
Because I think I'm the Braves jinx, and if I bet them 2 days in a row and they stink 2 days in a row,
you brought the Braves
-175, -175 for the double.
I played the over yesterday, and they didn't do a fucking thing.
Yeah, it was
the books aren't going to let you beat them.
Yeah. So.
Huh?
They're -175.
I guess it's up. Commish, do you have anything you want to say for this one, or should we just move on?
You know, I don't know if I can get there today, but as a general rule, if you can get a team at +2.5 in Major League Baseball at plus money, you pretty much have to take that blindly.
Yeah, I don't know about this one though. Maybe if the Braves beat the shit out of the White Sox last night.
Yeah, I agree. And if it was anybody other than Strider, because the White Sox have just shown absolutely no ability to make contact against velo so far. If it was anybody other than Strider, I'd be on the +2.5 today. But yeah, I mean, you can't play the Braves at -375 on the money line, obviously. But
I don't
just as like going forward, if you see the +2.5 in these situations, it's tough to win a baseball game by 3+ on a consistent basis.
Right. Especially at plus money. Someone asked what a double result is. So double result. Oh, someone explained it, but it's basically a same game parlay. They're built into the sports book. So you just click double result. It's a team to be winning after 5 innings and win the game. So essentially, what you're actually doing is parlaying the first 5 run line and the full game money line. Sometimes if you really like a team but they're overpriced, you can get a better price. But I mean, probably just at -175 for the Braves double result here. So they're not even going to let you get that off.
That's crazy.
I mean, I would only be Braves in some way, but there's just way too expensive. There's no way. It's way too expensive.
Chiriot's +350 to get a steal today.
Okay.
How do you not? There's no way Jeffers is throwing him out if he goes.
That's in this game, right?
Batted 357 again.
Yes, Kyle.
So Chiriot's +350 get a steal in this game here, Prop Beaver?
Yeah, I mean, I've never bet a steal prop before, so I don't know if I can make that at like an official prop that I'll actually post.
Why?
But I'm
Why
definitely
not?
gonna.
What, are you scared of them?
What? No, because
Why have
I don't
you
want
never
to
been a
just
steal
recommend it. It's a market I've never explored before. I don't know. I've never ventured into it, so why would I recommend people bet it as if I'm some expert on the market?
Well, I mean, you could see how many steals they've gotten. It's not like...
Well, you got to look at catcher's pop time. There's other things that go on.
From what they're saying, this
catcher's pop time.
From what they're saying, this Jeffers character's pop time must be in the first percentile.
Pop time is bad. His arm is bad. His defense is bad. All he does is have a bat.
Paddock also isn't that quick to the plate, so...
Gotta look at the catcher's pop time, duh.
Yo, I'm just trying to educate everybody, okay?
You can time a guy yourself. Like if you're ever at home and you really want to get super nerdy about it, if a pitcher's longer than like 1.3, 1.4 in seconds to home plate, I mean teams are probably going to run all over him.
Yeah,
And
if you
Milwaukee's
see like
one
a
of the most
1-3,
team in
1-4, and that's called pop time. Is it on Fangraph?
No, so
Well, no,
so
that's
1-3,
different.
1-4 is time to the plate, like in seconds. So if
Oh.
the pitcher is longer than 1.4 seconds to the plate, that's bad. And then pop time wise, I mean, Jeffers pop time I think wasn't awful last year, like 50th percentile, but he just can't throw anybody out. The arm sucks. It doesn't help when your pitchers don't help you out, and they don't really have a lot of guys that are quick to the plate. So this is a spot Milwaukee's going to run. You're basically at 325, 350, whatever the plus money is at this point. You're basically betting Churio to get to first base. If he gets to first base, I would be shocked if he doesn't take off.
Right. So the other.
All right, then I like that.
Yeah, me too. I also based on what he's saying, I also really want to bet the Brewers too. But all right, so we're on Boston, Oakland here. Man, Bayo last night, Toast. Your boy, what the hell was that?
He had 2 bad mistakes and he looked fantastic. Everything else.
Bad mistakes.
Mish, am I wrong?
No, I completely agree with you.
Thank you.
I didn't watch the game. I was just disappointed with the results.
Disappointed with the win?
I also had -1.5. I split my money.
That's your fault for getting greedy.
Oh my God, it was -146 or something.
Yeah, I know. It was perfect for me. I'm on the Red Sox here today again. Don't care. Drink
Money
that
line?
dirty water. Red Sox first 5 -0.5. I sent these all to Andy, so there should be something there. I did send them last night.
Let's see if Andy did them. This is Andy's moment of
So-
truth. Did he put Toast Red Sox first 5 bet in the graphics? We're getting there. Nope.
No.
Andy.
I even sent him my props and everything. What a
Hey,
sad
dog.
day.
So
But
first
anyway-
5 run line.
First and foremost, Pivetta on the road. I think we talked about this before he started in Seattle. Is a guy that I'm trying to back on the road essentially anytime he's on the road. His last 2 starts, one this season, one last year, 13 innings, 1 run, 20 Ks against Baltimore and Seattle, just to give you an idea of the road warrior that Nick Pivetta is. Also, Nick Pivetta's also owned this Oakland lineup going back to 2021, 22 total innings, 1 run, 20 Ks. And the 2 starts in Oakland that he had 3 starts, 2 of them were in Oakland. 2 of the 2 starts in Oakland, he didn't give up a run. Ross Stripling had really one good year in Toronto, and besides that, I think he's been pretty bad the rest of his career, so I don't trust him in any way at all. Does a price make sense at -105 that I got it at? I don't know what it is right now, but no. But I'm to be honest, like we've been talking about on all these streams on a daily basis, this Oakland team has been mispriced this whole year, and so I'm going to continue to take advantage of it. Yes, it was a little bit dicey last night, so I don't really want to worry about the bullpens, but I will say that if you do play the full game, that Mason Miller's not going to pitch for the Oakland A's. He's their best reliever. He's went back-to-back nights. So yeah, there's ways to get to Boston, but yeah, it's Boston first 5 run line for me.
I might just go Boston full game run line again, even though it didn't come through for me last night. But yeah, I feel like in the last year of sports betting, I've had to erase a lot of things that were profitable in the past. Like, you used to be able to, I don't want to say blindly profit, but like sketchy lines that didn't make sense, used to hit at a pretty good rate. But now sometimes they're not, these lines they're just mispriced. So I mean, look, Oakland plus 140. It seems like, oh man, they must like Oakland giving you Boston at this price, but I think it's just mispriced. So yeah, I'm gonna probably I'm gonna write it down so I don't forget. But I think I'm gonna take Boston -1.5 again. Last night I lost a few dollars because I split the Boston money line with the Boston run line, and obviously they won but didn't cover.
I didn't hear that you split it, so it's not nearly as bad.
Yeah, I had the money line too, but I also I split my money 0.5 on each. So I think I'm just gonna do the run line here because Oakland's terrible, and I don't care that every single person is betting the Red Sox. They're just mispriced in my opinion. It'll even out as the season
100%.
progresses. Prop Beaver, do you agree you got to go Boston here, right?
Yeah, I would probably lean Boston. I must say, Ross Stripling, surprisingly, really good against Boston in the past. Last 6 starts, 2.08 ERA, 106 WHIP, 2-0. But yeah, in this one, I would go with. Sounds a bit crazy. It's gonna sound a bit nuts out of my mouth, but I would go with Pivetta 10+ Ks here. If I could get it, I'm going to make sure to say this at +200 or better. I said better because Pivetta. If I could get +200 or better with Pavetta 10 plus Ks, I will do that. It sounds a bit nuts to bet anybody 10 plus Ks that's not in the DeGrom echelon of K stuff, but Pavetta had an absurd 37 CSW percent in game 1 against Seattle, registering 10 Ks, and he threw just 84 pitches in that game. We saw a very aggressive approach, pounding the zone, and the A's are the only team right now with a worse K percentage against righties than that Seattle team he just had 10 Ks against. And let's not forget that Pavetta was on a roll with the K stuff at the end of last season. In his last 9 starts, going back to last year, he's got a 35.8 K percentage. That's elite. And he has 10 plus Ks in 4 of those starts with 9 and 0 of them. So if you want to take the over 8.5 at the plus 110 or whatever, you could. I'm just going to try and get it at the double digits and see if it goes there. Because Pavetta in his last 2 or 3 trips to Oakland, he's hit double digits. He had 10, 13, and I believe 7 Ks in 3 trips there. The earned run line is at 1.5. Oakland's actually not been too bad at getting runs against righties lately. And in terms of an outs bet, I could see him going 6 innings here because of the fact that Boston did use guys yesterday, but Oakland's also been pretty good at getting guys out of the game early. What they haven't been good at doing, limiting strikeouts. We saw Houck with 10 Ks against them. We saw Bieber with 11 Ks against them. So I think Pavetta can hit that double-digit mark against them. This Oakland lineup in terms of K percentage is rock bottom. They are going to strike out a ton this year.
Let me ask you, though, what do you think about Red Sox moneyline Pavetta 7+ at -115? Because I just looked it up.
I don't mind that, but personally, I'd rather just bet Pavetta here straight up.
Okay, so is this the actual one you gave out on Twitter, 10+?
I'm waiting to see. I right now, right? You could get 10+ on FanDuel at plus 182. But the other books haven't dropped their alt lines yet. I'm waiting for Bet365 because they usually give a pretty nice alt line. If I could get that at plus 200, I'm gonna strike there.
Okay.
I also played. I gave this. Send it to Andy too, whatever. But I also played Trevor Story over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Just for the record.
Trevor Story. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Kamish, and I have to take a piss real quick, so I'll be right back. Kamish, you have the floor.
Okay, appreciate it. Beaver, I love the Stones on the Pavetta pick, man. I think it's a matchup that makes a ton of sense. Day game. Oakland, at least coming into this series, I run approach metrics at the beginning of every week. Oakland was one of 7 teams the first week of the season to rank worse than the league average in contact percentage on pitches outside the zone, called strike plus whiff percentage, and contact percentage on pitches in the zone. I mean that's your dark triad right there. If you're below average in all 3 of those, you're going to strike out a ton on a consistent basis. We know why we like Pavetta, right? More and more sweepers. We saw it at the end of last year when he debuted that pitch. He led with that pitch in his first start against the Mariners, and guys couldn't touch it. It's one of the most unhittable pitches in baseball. I mean, Oakland's just a bad team, right? And I totally agree with you, Toast. When you have mispriced lines, I feel like you just have to bet them. I think the worst thing you can do is not bet them when they open. Because last night, I looked at the Red Sox first 5 money line. It was -138 with the better starting pitcher and in the better offense in this matchup, -138. Now it's -156, which I still think is plenty playable, but you're losing almost 20 cents there. And I think long term, if you continue to bet into that market, you're at a minimum giving away some profit there. But 100%. The Red Sox, man, we've talked about this on a couple of shows already. I know we've been DMing it a lot. Kyle Bodie, founder of Driveline, coming into the organization, completely changed these guys. Andrew Bailey, coming over from the Giants. The Giants set a record last year for the lowest fastball percentage thrown by pitchers in the history of Major League Baseball since in the pitch tracking era. This year, what is Boston doing? They're throwing a hell of a lot less fastballs, and these guys are throwing frisbees up there. I'm all about the Red Sox. The only thing I can tell you is I'm trying to talk myself out of a Red Sox World Series ticket at this point because I really truly believe what these guys are doing.
Yeah, you love that team, man. Every single time we talk about the Red Sox, you're gassing them up.
It's hard not to love it. What they've done already with the pitching staff's insane.
And if they add, just think if they add one more decent bullpen piece. I mean, I understand that Jansen isn't what he once was, but that Wisnowski guy looks absolutely unhittable. Jansen is really good. Obviously, the pitching is really good. I mean, yeah, I get it. Boston and the Giants are the 2 teams that I think that people are sleeping on right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Giants suck.
Also,
shut up.
Also, Kyle, just a note, if you
did you say Boston money line or Boston run? What did you say?
I took them first 5 money line, but
first 5 money line. Okay.
A note on your ticket from last night where you split the money line and the -1.5. One thing that you can do is if you bet the money, like let's say you bet the money line to win, just keep the math simple, $50. If you then take that $50 that you would profit from the money line and then put it on the -1.5, then you can't lose any money if they only win by 1.
Yeah, I could play the safer bet a little heavier, and I have done that before. But in this particular instance, I usually keep my to risk even rather than, it might not be the best way, but that's how I usually do it.
I do too. I that's a very unpopular thing in betting Twitter. I know everybody bets to win, but I think especially with baseball where it's a juice sport, like I'm not necessarily more confident in the Red Sox today because they're -135.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to bet more money. Like that just never really made sense to me to bet more just because the juice is telling you that it's more likely to happen.
If I'm betting more on a team, it's because I'm more confident in the outcome. I think it's a better investment. All right, so let's move on to the next game. We got 83% of you clicked Boston. So as you would imagine, everyone's leaning Boston here, and who could blame them? Next up, how about those Snakes?
A layup. It was a layup yesterday. We knew it the whole time, right?
Someone on this show said that was a layup.
Did we all say that?
Prop Beaver goes.
No, that was a good call, Sauce.
Thank you. It was my top bet, man. Prop Beaver, get help. Bro.
Did you see the third strike call on Judge, Kamish?
No, I missed it. I turned that game off because I knew it was just
over
layup lines.
It barely went over his feet, and he rung him up.
You said on the nightcap, Kamish, you said as long as Nestor doesn't throw to Ketel Marte, we're in a good spot immediately. Double. I was like, oh, they're cooked. They're so cooked.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I can't wait to fade Zach Gallen next week, though, man. He looked like crap again.
Dude, he got so lucky.
I thought it was a
I
great.
can't
I thought it was a
I
gem.
didn't even bet the game, so I don't really care.
That was a great outing.
So
it was a
lucky. I
gem
was watching
of
that, and I was
Gallen.
like, Jesus Christ.
So me and Prop Beaver actually, the video I uploaded last night, me and Prop Beaver made that last night, and I think there's evidence here that point towards it being a solid spot for both starting pitchers. I'm on the under in this one. If you watch the video, you know that. And I think it's a solid bet. I didn't bet yet because I wanted to see what these guys thought first. But as long as neither bullpen is taxed, I think the under's the move. Merrill Kelly, historically much better at home in Phoenix or whatever the hell they play. Scottsdale. Where do they play? Where's their stadium, Toast?
It's in Arizona. It's in Phoenix.
I know it's it's in Arizona, guys. Guys, it's in Arizona.
I don't know what you don't know. Like, it's the only team in Arizona.
It's in Phoenix. It
is in Phoenix. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Merrill Kelly, not only great historical numbers against the Yankees, has great historical numbers, career numbers against their current lineup. He actually has great numbers against Juan Soto, who is obviously the Yankees' best red-hot hitter right now. But I don't think that is the selling point here, because I think most of you would be on board. Like, yeah, Merrill Kelly could pitch a good game here. I don't think that take would get much pushback. But it's on the other side. Rodon, I think everyone's sold on Rodon. He's got really good numbers against this lineup. He opened up the season on the road in Houston. That was a spot, I think Houston probably weren't they like the third best home lineup against lefties last year?
They're a top 3 lineup against lefties in the 3 major
especially
categories.
at home, right?
Over the last 3 seasons, yes.
Definitely not at
No, they murdered lefties
at home. Yeah, that's their best spot.
Righties, they don't hit at home. So, yeah, I think Prop Beaver, actually, you're going to be more familiar with these notes than me. Explain why Rodon, it might be a good spot for Rodon.
Well, I'm on the Diamondbacks first 5 money line, so we're gonna have to agree to disagree. It's kind of a good spot.
You gave me the notes.
Okay, yeah, and then I do more notes and I do more thinking, and I say, okay, well, I'm probably gonna have to lean with the Diamondbacks here. And I think myself into a winning bet because I realize, sure, there's some value on the under 4.5 here. I do think Rodon could have a good outing, because the Diamondbacks are supposed to not be that good against lefties. But then I saw what they have done against lefties thus far, and they're absolutely annihilating them.
They saw one lefty.
They faced 3 lefties thus far. The 3 lefties faced them. They're Kyle Freeland, Gomber, and Cortez, all Cy Young winning pitchers. No, they're all not very good, but I don't care.
wasn't even trying to talk shit.
I don't care who's out there. 12.75 ERA, 2.3 home run per nine, 2.5 WHIP against 3 starting left-handed pitchers. They're killing left-handed pitchers. Blaze Alexander, a guy they needed to produce against lefties for this lineup to be good against lefties, has done just that. He's been good against lefties. So I'm just really, what is it? I forgot to list what their ranks were, but they were ranking in the top 7 of most ranks against lefties on the season thus far. So they've hit lefties well. And yes, Carlos Rodon does have really good numbers against the current lineup. But as I also said to you, the last 5 times he's faced him, this dude just has 0 luck. He's 0-3, 5.53 ERA. The 105 WHIP means that he is not allowing many base runners. But every little mistake he makes, the Diamondbacks have exploited. And what is to make me think that doesn't happen again here? Sure, Carlos Rodon looked good last week.
You're making me want to bet the Yankees.
Did you see how many base runners he let up last week? The guy still had 8 base runners on base in 4.1 innings of work.
He was on the road to Houston. This lineup's going to be trash against lefties. You're making me want to bet the Yankees. You're making me want to bet the Yankees right now.
I'm not even going to finish my point. We'll just go to the next bet. If you're just going to interrupt the entire time, we'll just go to the next one.
So you're on D-Max first 5 money line.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right bet. When your dog shit bet loses because Verdone gets lit the fuck up, I'm going to be laughing.
All right. So I'm still in the under, but I kind of like the Yankees now. Kirms, what do you got?
My favorite point that Prop Beaver made, Blaze Alexander, man, what a baseball name. That guy in the 6 hole today.
Sick
hard
name.
Hard to not bet the Diamondbacks if you got Blaze in the lineup. I don't know, man. Rodon hit 98. Rodon was going to be an automatic fade for me beginning in start 2. I wanted to see how he looked in start 1, but he touched 98 against Houston, and I do think Houston, I'm not big on Houston at all. I bet their under season win total, but you touched 98. I thought he looked better than I expected, so I'm willing to wait and see a little bit. For me, right now, Lourdes Gurriel, this guy does this every year where he looks like an MVP candidate for 3 weeks, and then he looks like he should be in AA for 3 weeks, and then an MVP candidate for 3 weeks. Well, right now he's in one of those MVP stretches, so that's obviously very good for the Diamondbacks lineup. Ketel Marte against a lefty, Christian Walker against a lefty. He had a home run again last night.
Hold on, I don't want to interrupt, but Rodon has great career numbers against Ketel Marte. I believe he's 1 of 14. I know you don't like those stats.
I know. I honestly, I would never have even known that because I don't even look at those sites, but it is worth
1 of 14. Prop Beaver's own notes. Prop Beaver's own notes.
He's due. If anything, Marte's due.
Oh, my God.
He's due. That's a great perspective to have.
No, that's what Prop Beaver does. When the stat doesn't support his argument, he goes, oh, it's due. And when
that's you. That is you. You're the king of twisting these freaking stats. Get out of here.
No, I am not, bro. All right, go on.
No, I don't have anything straight on this game, but I'm taking our show plays and I'm just putting together a little fun money Wednesday parlay here, and I'm taking the alt under here to throw into this parlay. I think this is we still don't have a Yankees lineup, but I think this is a prime rest candidate spot for maybe Judge or Soto or Rizzo, some of these older guys.
Soto, love to see that.
They've already swept the Astros. I mean, that's 4 wins in the bank right there when you maybe only expected 2. They already got 1 in this series. You're facing Merrill Kelly today, who personally I think is the most reliable starting pitcher on the Diamondbacks.
Yes,
Not to say that the Yankees are punting, but I think this is a decent spot to try to get some guys off their feet a little bit. I think the under, or if you're a parlay person or putting together show parlay picks, an alt under makes sense here.
Okay. All right, I follow you. All right, Toast. Who do you think was right in our debate, me or Prop Beaver?
I can't even deal with you guys at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning right now. I played the first 5 under 4.5 and minus 105. I don't know what it's at right now.
You're on my side.
I know the Beaver thinks it's a dog shit bet, but all signs looked like Carlos Rendon was back to the guy that we all thought what we once knew and loved his last couple of times with his velocity up. I understand that he had some base runners, but as long as that velocity is up, I'll take my chances with an Arizona team that's trotting out there today as their 6, 7, 8, 9 guys. Blaze Alexander, Jorge Barbarossa, Tucker Barnhart, and Perdomo. I'll give Perdomo as a really good 9-hole hitter. He has a lot of contact, but still, that's a really weak lineup for Rendon here. And then Merrill Kelly, these guys talked about it. He's just an absolute stud veteran that knows how to get the job done, has really good numbers against this Yankees lineup, has been a stud to into close last year. I love Merrill Kelly. I have no problem with him. So under first 4.5 or under first, whatever.
Let me ask you why isolated to the first 5, because I was thinking under 8.5 on the game. Is there any reason, or you just wanted to stick to the starters?
Because
The D-backs pen is poopy.
I don't trust
That's a really
that.
good point.
I don't trust. And then the Yankees pen's really taxed. I understand that they all had days off yesterday and stuff, but I think that both of these starting pitchers go at each other. And I actually think that Rendon pitches well today. So, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna stick with my under, even though I think the Yankees are gonna win. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my under. All right, so 54% polls leaning. The community is leaning towards Arizona here. So you guys like the D-backs, want to back Merrill Kelly.
Smart group.
Yeah. Sauce, I like your under 8.5 too. Yeah. Both these bullpens are well rested. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
I think
I'm
it's an
thinking.
under game.
Well, yeah, I'm with you. I feel like I agree with everything you said, but then when you said the first 5, I was like, wait a second, like, why isolate it? Because I felt like it applies throughout.
Because I think it's going to be like a playoff game. So if I'm getting 4.5 and these guys are just out there swinging it, I'll be all right.
When the Yankees are up 1-0 after 5.
We could all win, man, because Prop Beaver could hit the Diamondbacks.
Prop
We could all
Beaver's
hit
not going to win that.
I'm trying to be inclusive here. I'm trying to be inclusive.
That's funny.
You put him on the small screen. Now you're talking shit about him.
No, I mean, the Yankees looked really good against the premier pitchers they faced thus far. How many runs did they score combined against Javier?
We were just talking
and,
about how good the Diamondbacks looked against Kyle Freeland and Kel Control, man. You can't.
Those are, as I said, those are elite arms.
Oh my God!
As I said, those are
Do
elite
you have a
arms.
smaller screen for him, Sauce? You got a smaller screen?
Let's shrink
Yeah.
his screen. All right, Toast. It's Cardinals, Friars. I'm on the Padres here. I didn't bet it because I'm kind of worried, but what are we doing here? I mean, the Padres should absolutely crush Thompson on paper. Like, the Padres were an elite lineup against lefties last year. Thompson has bad history against this team, bad history on the road. I mean, every sign points to Thompson getting lit the hell up today. That being said, I don't know if I could put another one of my dollars on the San Diego Padres right now.
Yeah, back-to-back bad performances by the Padres. Last night, it doesn't really bother me too much. I think that I truly feel like, what's his face? I'm having a brain fart right now. Who pitched last night for them? The Asian guy.
Nicholas and Darvish.
Darvish. Jesus Christ. It's just early.
That's your favorite team.
Yeah, I know. That's what happens when I wake up at
last
7
night
a.m.
when
to
we
do a
were
live
working,
show, and then I stay up all night doing my notes and doing my picks. Yeah, it's 4
Last-
hours of sleep. It'll get you.
Last night when
but
we
yeah.
were working, Prop Beaver called him Pooh Darvish.
So
No, we will not tolerate you Darvish disrespect on this show.
I like
Yeah,
Darvish, but
I
was
think
laughing.
that Darvish looked just fine last night. I understand he had one mistake late in the ball game, but the fact of the matter is the Padres bats didn't see him or didn't help him out. I don't really put a whole bunch of stock into that. The Padres offenses looked fine at times. They've looked shitty at times. It's just a matter of when they're going to look good. They've only seen one other left-handed pitcher this year. It wasn't a loss, but they had like 7 hits against him. I really feel like this is a really good spot for the Padres to get right against a lefty who they absolutely smoke lefties. I understand that Joe Musgrove hasn't been good. I played Padres first 5 run line, by the way. I know the Padres, Joe Musgrove hasn't been good in back-to-back starts, but he also started slow last year, came back, had a very good start against the Dodgers. His 4th start against the Dodgers, they got to him for 4 runs, but seeing a team like the Dodgers back-to-back, it doesn't really bother me. And then Joe kind of got into his rhythm. He also has done really good against this Cardinals lineup. I know that Goldie and Arenado have decent numbers to get in, but I just think that Joe comes out here and plays pretty well tonight. Also, not to mention the fact with the getaway day, if Gorman, Goldschmidt, Arenado, Contreras, one of those guys sits, that even makes that lineup even weaker. So,
did you see Goldschmidt's career numbers against Musgrove? Oh my God. 11 of 21. He's got like a 1,500 OPS against them.
Yep. 9 walks. That'll do it.
That'll do it.
Okay, I'll take some walks.
And 11 of 21.
Yeah, but the 9 walks is why the OPS is so high.
Oh, well, I mean, still. So, all right, I agree with a lot of what Toast said, except for the part, I don't know if we can really rely on Musgrove, and he seems to think Musgrove's going to show up. I think maybe here, but I also see the graphic I put up under Toast, that's actually Prop Beaver's pick, and let's bring him up. So what he did was put us in a position where we don't have to trust Musgrove. He just isolated the Padres team total in the first 5, saying, hey, the Padres are going to get to Thompson. We don't have to trust Musgrove against what I think might be an undervalued Cardinals lineup.
Yeah, I'm higher on the Cardinals lineup than most. And Musgrove, I do not trust right now, but I know that he can snap out of it at any moment. While I personally, for some reason, have a grudge against him, I can respect that he is a very good pitcher in this league. So, yeah, I'm not going to go ahead and fade him here, but I am going to fade Zach Thompson. And more so, I'm just going to back a Padres lineup that after the last 2 games, they have their backs against the ball. They just scored 2 runs in each of them. I think they could get firing early here because they're going to face a left-handed pitcher. Split, I'm much more inclined to back this lineup against, especially with Soto out the door, because that really takes away some of that oomph against those right-handed pitchers. Last year, they were second in WRC plus against lefties compared to 14th against righties. And the current Padres lineup against righties, they only have an average WRC plus of 103 and average ISO of 151 over the last 3 seasons. Against lefties, that shoots up to an average WRC plus of 140 and an average ISO of 229, which is really, really good those last 3 seasons. Now, a bit of those numbers are inflated because Eguy Rosario, I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's spelled literally Eguy. Eguy Rosario, his sample size is small, but he was dominant against lefties as well. The point stands. Padres, excellent lineup against lefties. And Zach Thompson's heading into this one with some lessened confidence after he got his teeth kicked in by the Dodgers in his debut. 6 hits, 2 walks, 5 earned runs, 3 home runs. And honestly, as a career starter, the guy just hasn't been that good. 5.34 ERA, 3.49 WOBA, 1.8 home run per 9. His 4.37 xFIP does suggest he's been a bit unlucky, but in this matchup, I don't really know if that luck's going to turn around here. What really worries me is the small sample size we've seen of him on the road against righties. 436 WOBA, 2.5 home run per 9. This guy's about to face 8 of them today. We saw him square off against the Padres last season at home, and he allowed 5 hits, 4 walks, and 3 runs through just 4 innings of work. And if we go back to last year, Thompson has now allowed his last 6 or 7 opponents over the mark. Ballpark Pal is taking into account the weather. It's not the greatest, and they still have Padres projected for 3.2 runs through the first 5. So at the plus money, I think we're catching some nice value here on a bounce back from the Padres to not get swept at home.
Yeah, I can't disagree with anything you said. Like I said, I think they get to Thompson. Kamish, what do you think about the matchup? I mean, I'm assuming you agree with us in a sense that it's a scary spot for Thompson.
Yeah, I think this little show parlay that I'm putting together here, I'm going to throw the Diamondbacks team total in. The Padres.
Talking about the Padres game though.
What did I say? Did I say Diamondbacks?
You said Diamondbacks, yeah.
Sorry, that's 7 hours isn't 8 hours. So I'm still adjusting to the sleep deprivation here. I know Toast is even working with even less. But yeah, I meant the Padres team total over 2.5. I'm throwing in, but I think this is a game I might get to their default team total as well. Once I see the lineups come out, the Padres are better than what they've shown so far. I think they've been having some decent at bats. This is a really good spot for them against a pitcher that I think is going to be pretty hittable this season. I know it's just the one start, and it was against the Dodgers, but Zach Thompson, 92.3% contact percentage allowed on pitches in the zone in that first start. Last year, only Adam Wainwright allowed a higher contact percentage on pitchers in the zone for the season. So, I mean, again, like it's one start. Don't put a ton of stuff into it, but the one takeaway that you can take from that is one start, extremely hittable, even against a good lineup. So I think the Padres, they have some guys in the lineup that can hit lefties, like you guys mentioned. We don't have to belabor that. I could get behind Joe Musgrove in this game. Like I know the results have not been there through 2 starts, but I do like he's leading with the slider and the cutter this year. Less of the fastball, less of the curveball. Sometimes it takes guys with new pitch mixes a couple of starts to really get comfortable with their sequencing and things like that. I don't think the stuff has looked that bad. I think it's been more of a sequencing issue. That's the kind of thing that you like to think will sort of iron itself out once he gets going here. So I'm not in panic mode with Musgrove yet. I think the Padres get a win here, and we were talking about it last night. Toast mentioned it. The Cardinals have already won this series, and they're coming off. They were the team that played on the road on Sunday Night Baseball. Why not get a breather for Goldie, for Arenado, for maybe one of these 2 older vets in the lineup? I think this is a Padres spot.
Yeah.
Can I also mention one other thing about Musgrove, since I'm a Padres homer, and it's going to come out this way, but his first 2 starts were against the Dodgers and Giants, teams that are in that division, teams that know him extremely well. So it's just a little bit different for me as well.
All right, so you guys trust Musgrove. All right, maybe I'll just tail you guys in the Padres first 5, whether the team total. Toast took the run line. Maybe I'll just do that. Actually, let me write this down.
Is Musgrove gonna wash away the taste of Pooh Darvish in our mouth, or what?
Oh my God, probably.
Darvish.
Pooh Darvish and Pepe Le Pew are two of the worst pitchers in baseball.
Darvish is on a redemption tour. He had some of the worst batted ball luck in the league last year, bro.
I play.
Oh my God,
Pooh
you gotta
Darvish
be
is
on
hilarious.
Darvish too.
No,
I say this
I
because
like
think
you,
people
Darvish.
chop him.
I like you, Darvish, but that's a dope nickname. You should rock that.
Pooh Darvish is
You gotta get t-shirts. Sauce. Where's the merch store?
KyleCrims.com/shop.
Do you have a Pooh Darvish shirt? You gotta put Prop Beaver in charge of the.
I can make one of
purchase
those.
I don't think I can
Dude,
sell
you
shirts
should.
that have the word Darvish on it.
Oh, yes, you can.
We can sell them to me.
I see a lot of websites with a lot of stuff
Yeah,
like
well,
that.
maybe a lot of websites that are just trying to make a quick buck and aren't worried about getting sued. I do things the right way over here.
Well, he doesn't have the copyright on the word Darvish. I can assure you that.
That is true. Who does he think he is?
I mean, it's his name. All right. Anyway, Cleveland on the road in Seattle here.
I don't know people.
Toast's favorite player here is George Kirby.
Yeah. What's the rules, guys? George Kirby till I fucking die.
So how are you gonna bet it?
First 5 run line. So yeah, that's just what
Seattle
we do.
has to score for that to hit.
Yeah, that's a good thing that Logan. It's a good thing that Logan Allen really struggles against right-handed batters. Seattle's going to send 6 right-handed batters to the plate today that are all very capable. Also, Logan Allen really not good on the road last year either. I understand that the Mariners lineup isn't that scary, but I do think that they give some Kirby some early support today, and Kirby does his thing. They should. Worst case scenario, it's 1-0 after 5.
That's the worst case scenario. I can think of several worse, more worse.
Go ahead, show me. Just share one.
5-0 Cleveland.
Oh, that would never happen. That's not even a reality.
It's not even a
That is
reality. He goes, that is worse. All right, so let me
It's 5-0 Cleveland. After the first 5 today, you can pick my profile pick for a week, Sauce.
If it's 5-0, I'll get a.
How about if Cleveland's
tattoo
up
on
5
my
or more?
Even better. I'll take those because then you're telling me the Mariners might score 1. That's giving me a better chance.
Yeah, maybe. Oh well, I meant because you're saying if it's 5-0 Cleveland, like okay, what if it's 6-0? That's what I meant.
mean, I will give you since George Kirby's due to give up a run. He hasn't given up a run in like 18 innings. So I mean, maybe. Probably not though, right? I doubt it.
Yeah.
What are you doing here, Gabriel?
So I'm not 100% sold that Seattle's going to score in the first 5, but I'm like 95% sold. So I do trust George Kirby a lot. I think he's one of those few guys that I'm probably going to go to in some capacity every 5 days. Walked the lowest percentage of batters he faced in all of baseball last year. Good swing and miss stuff. The dude's fearless. I mean, he will attack every single batter that comes in the box. And Cleveland's got J-Ram and not a whole lot else, in my opinion, in terms of it.
Oh, Naylor's cool. Naylor's good.
Naylor's.
Yeah, but are you game planning for Josh Naylor, Bo Naylor? Like those are decent hitters, but
I feel like for Josh Naylor, why wouldn't you?
Not when you're George Kirby.
I mean,
you're not losing any sleep.
These guys don't know George.
Naylor just hit a bomb off Munoz.
They don't get it.
Listen, I don't know George. I know George, but it sounds like you guys know Josh Naylor. You're
one of the
big
Naylors is
disrespectful
worried
right now.
about
I'm a
George
little
Kirby.
pissed
You
off.
don't know George Kirby. That's
I
what I'm
hope
telling
Josh Naylor goes fucking first inning. F you.
you. I hope he does too. Bet it. Good luck with that.
Anyway, so you were saying you would take the first 5 run line.
So I bet the first 5 money line last night. The line has moved on this. I like the Mariners line. Like I could get behind the Mariners -0.5 in the first 5 if you want to get a little bit more aggressive. I just wouldn't play that huge. Mitch Garver's a good bat against lefties. Julio Rodriguez hits lefties well. You're gonna. I think. What's his name? JP Crawford.
Ty France.
Yeah, Ty France hit lefties well. JP Crawford hit lefties well, even though he's a left-handed hitter. So this is a lineup that's probably going to be relatively decent against lefties. And I know Logan Allen looked pretty good against Oakland the other day, but I am a firm believer that Logan Allen is a true number 5 back end of the rotation starter in the league. So if you're getting George Kirby, who is by far the best pitcher in that Mariners rotation against probably the worst guy long-term in the Cleveland rotation, I just think you have to bet this and move on.
Prop Beaver, I kind of wanted to bet Cleveland. Both these guys are in Seattle.
I'm gonna pass here. I won't fade Kirby. And I won't fade Kirby in the day either. You want to hear Kirby through 7 home day starts, 0.98 ERA, 206 WOBA, 0.2 home runs per 9, 32 K to walk percentage, and a 1.3 FIP. I don't know if I've ever heard a slash line that good. He's even better against lefties in the spots with a 181 WOBA and a 064 WHIP. But I have to admit, the Guardians lineup has been pretty productive against righties thus far. And if you look historically, they're good in day games against righties, especially on the road. So I don't know. I don't think that they're necessarily going to light him up, but would it shock me if they got 1 or 2 runs here? No. And then Allen doesn't have much in terms of lefty or righty splits, but if you look at his day-night splits, he was actually much better during the day last year. 2.53 ERA, 3.42 xFIP, and you know I love my day splits. And I found this out the hard way because I faded the shit out of Patrick Corbin with the Mariners yesterday in the day game. This team can't hit lefties during the day. Last year against lefties in the day, they're 28th in WRC plus,
Patrick
30th in ISO, and 29th. Shut the hell up, and 29th in OPS. At night, they were 4th, 12th, and 10th. So top 10 lineup at night, bottom 3 during the day. I need to wait and see that doesn't carry over into this year before I back that confidently. So I understand the point behind Kirby at -110 through the first 5 run line. I definitely heavily considered it, but I just don't think it has as much value as one would think here. So I'm going to pass.
I want to bet Cleveland. I just think they're the better team right now, and we're getting up plus 140. I'll put it up, but I don't think I'm going to do it. I mean, all 3 of these guys love George Kirby. These guys do their research, so they all love George Kirby. It must be for a reason. But I'll put Cleveland.
He's one of the 3 best pitchers in the American League. Is my thoughts.
That sounds crazy to me.
I don't
Say that
think
again.
Said one of the 3 best pitchers in the American League.
Oh yeah.
I'll go Cleveland.
Also, program note: Baltimore and KC delayed.
We were suspecting that.
Yep.
All right. Someone said, Sauce, your mic is all over the place. I know. I see it. I guess now it's good. But for some reason, when I don't talk for a while and then start talking again, my mic just like really low. It's weird.
2 things. I thought this was the cutoff, and B, I thought we didn't talk about the Reds-Phillies game.
Reds-Phillies game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in here. Yeah, this is the cutoff. This is for the night show. This Pittsburgh-Washington game. I guess the graphics got messed up. So, Reds-Phillies at 4 o'clock. That's the last game to talk about.
Yeah.
Did you guys have anything?
No, but I just thought I should at least mention it if somebody else had something.
I mean, it's Wheeler at home versus Montas. How can you take the Reds?
Shitty weather. Totals at 7.5.
All right, let's just skip it then. Let's just skip it. It's after 12:30 anyway, so let's do a community parlay and.
I will say just one quick note on Montas: only 8 whiffs on 38 swings on opening day. Velo was down, so if you need any more reason to not be on him,
I was trying to get to Wheeler. I'm just debating if I want to pay -120 with the first 5 run line, but I do want to get Wheeler. I'm trying to get a little bit of exposure to Wheeler at home, but.
Did you say that
Wheeler K's, but he doesn't strike the Reds out for some reason.
I just don't know K props. That's all. So
yeah.
He is one of those guys that comes out, and sometimes I feel like he just messes around. He's like, I'm going to try to get some ground balls today, just for fun.
He's that good. He's probably good.
Did you say that Orioles game was delayed or postponed?
Delayed. But it sounds like at least a couple hours, so it might not get played.
Right. So we're gonna do first and second. First and second place from this poll is gonna make it. So this is community parlay. Cast your votes.
How dope would it be if the East Coast had retractable roof technology?
I don't know why every
God would life be good.
I don't know why every stadium in every sport doesn't have that.
Couldn't agree more. But the truest would be like ah.
Yeah, the people in the NFL, right? They'll be like, I love the bad weather games.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
no.
Thursday night football.
It's so unenjoyable.
Thursday night football happened. Bills Patriots, like a division game, awesome game. It was windy as hell. No one watched. Everyone turned it off. It was a final score 9-3 or whatever. It was like 9-6 or something.
Yeah, well, they had Ramondre Stevenson running halfback dives on 55% of the snaps that night.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
Dude, they ran the Patriots ran 3 plays the entire game. Well, it counted for 96% of their plays, 3 plays. And people will say they love it, and then when it's on, they won't watch it. They'll turn it off,
and they'll tweet about it and say how bad it is.
Those are the same people that say baseball's boring, by the way.
Yeah, those are the same type.
I could see how baseball is boring if you don't bet it, but betting baseball's sick.
It's the best.
Just like
Oh my God.
the energy that you feel when you're betting a batter prop and that guy's up at the plate, you're like, dude, you better fucking hit
But in
the ball.
August-
I swear to God.
August, it gets
that's
rough,
when the
though.
fatigue sets in. That's when the
It's
fatigue
not just-
sets in.
It's not just
That-
fatigue.
Because you're burnt
bro.
out, man. Like I'm already, exhausted after a week. Last
Yeah.
night watching that Red Sox game was when Sedane made that catch in center
Oh
field.
my God! Thank God.
I was like, oh my God, this kid, if he didn't get another hit the rest of the regular season, I would not call for his head in the lineup.
Well,
So
I think
tomorrow's much needed. There's only like 4 games tomorrow, so that's a nice relaxation day for everybody.
that
the-
will.
the-
We're all gonna get 8 hours. It's gonna be beautiful.
The problem with betting baseball, is when you get to August and it's like, oh my God, Logan Allen versus Brad Keller again. I've handicapped this game 6 times already. It's like it
Well, I
starts
think
to get very repetitive.
Yeah, in baseball too, and this is coming from a diehard baseball person who's literally addicted to this stuff. The fact that there's 15 games almost every single day is a grind. Football,
Yeah.
you have your time to get your lunch during the week, go work out, whatever. Baseball, it's like you got to be freaking committed to this stuff. Otherwise, you make a bet and you're like, oh, I didn't see that. I needed another hour of research that I just didn't have to do. So like baseball, you're either committed to the point of like that's your life for 4 or 5 months, or you're gonna make some bad bets and just have to live with it.
Yeah, well, I mean that comes with the territory. If you want to cover baseball during this time of year, you're going to be swamped. Same with if you want to be a college basketball analyst, that in those weekends of March Madness, you probably shouldn't make plans, or you know what I mean. Like it's
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
I have so much respect for you guys even looking at March Madness. I get so overwhelmed just thinking about how
I
many
just
schools
host
are
the
in.
show.
Try
That's it.
doing March Madness, do a Sweet 16, and then an opening week of MLB,
Yeah,
and like doing
that
the
was-
numbers together and not messing them up. That's the hard part.
Yeah, that's insane.
All right, so we got Red Sox money line and Mariners
Good
money
morning.
line. Can I get odds on this, Prop Beaver? Do you have it open?
Yeah. It's plus 581.
So this is our daytime community parlay. Rangers money line, Braves money line, Red Sox money line, Mariners money line plus 581. We'll be back at 4 p.m. Well, me, Toast, and Prop Beaver will. Commish can't do the afternoons. So the 3 of us will
Actually, I canceled practice today, so
Oh,
because it's
so
the weather
all-
here. So if you want me back,
change
just let
that.
me know.
All 4 of us will be back at 4 p.m. Eastern time to do the 5 night games. So it'll be a shorter one, only 5 games. I'll also be back at 3 p.m. Eastern time with Ski and Crispy Cap'n to do NBA. So I'll be back, and that's why I will actually give some picks out. If you notice, I was just tailing these guys. In the NBA, I actually will give some bets out. So that'll be me, Ski, Crispy Cap'n at 3 p.m., us 4 again for the night baseball games at 4 p.m. So thanks for watching. See you this afternoon. Hopefully the next time you see my face, we all have more money in our accounts. See you later.